Good evening, folks. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We're going back to that horrible world known as the JRC, but before we do, the usual disclaimers. In the description box, you're going to find a link to the article that the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read. It is written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics, wherein they have surveyed over 900 ABA professionals from all over the world in regards to the JRC's quote-unquote behavioral modification program. These are professionals, folks, from all over the world calling the JRC out. Matter of fact, the JRC doesn't want you to read this particular article so much. They threaten NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they do not remove it from their website. NeuroClastic has refused. So you know the drill, folks. Share it on all your social media. If you've read it, read it again. Also, you're going to find the link to NeuroClastic's public statement in regards to the defamation lawsuit threat and their GoFundMe as well. So please share that GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding like crazy people so that we can make sure, I'm sorry for using the word crazy, we're getting the word out as much as we can. There we go. So that we can help them with any legal fees should the JRC have the balls to see through their threat. Give if you can, okay? You're also going to find the links to the Agape boarding school situation. Agape boarding school is a Christian-themed, quote-unquote, school for troubled teens, guys, males, wherein they have currently pending out in Stockton, Missouri, where they're located, because I like to name and shame on this channel, 19 lawsuits alleging abuse, sexual abuse, torture, and starvation. Please go to those links. You'll see the change.org Shut Agape Boarding School Down petition. Sign it and share it on all your social media. And if you come across anything, anywhere, no matter how obscure, I don't care, where Agape Boarding School is defending themselves in any way, please, folks, make me aware of it, all right? You got the other pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign as well, including Autistic Hoya's massive archive on the subject, the templates, and the ever-present self-explanatory change.org Shut the Judge Rotenberg Center Down petition. When we discuss the JRC, folks, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of peoples with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you do got young children present, please, folks, use your headphones, all right? All right, it is 4:40 in the evening. No, I'm barely coherent, folks, so if I stumble over my words, apologies in advance, all right? Also, I do use profanity on this channel. I can't help it. It was how I was raised. I come from a family of veterans and truck drivers, all right? Please, if this offends you, I understand. You don't have to watch the videos, but please go to the links. This is bigger than me, okay? Okay, so let's go to where we left off this morning. Students placed in more... Blah. I think I already gone through this. Have I? No. Okay. Students placed in more segregated and restrictive settings, i.e. the small conference room, were not observed to receive instruction, even computer-based instruction, and a teacher is not available to provide instruction in that setting. The room is monitored by MHAs with high school diplomas and other non-teaching staff. We went over this. Now we're going to go and hear from the JRC how that's just not true. You're misinterpreting what you're seeing. If you'll just let us interpret for you what you're seeing with your own eyes, then you'll see what we're doing is good. fucking kill me. Again, if the NSED visitors had taken the time to hear and learn the program, what did I tell you? What did I tell you? If questions were asked of us, I think I'm going to roll my eyes so hard I'm going to see the back of my skull. They would have learned that the students assigned to small conference room or any alternative learning center receive direct instruction from their regular classroom teacher for part of the day, and the students are assigned to do while assigned to alternative learning environment. It's not an alternative learning environment if there's no teacher fucking... Oh my God. You're wrong, but this is why you're actually right. Jesus help me. They didn't talk about the rest of the day, JRC. They are talking specifically about when they are in the restrictive setting. And no, remember, JRC, by the time our asses are coming in there unannounced, we're not looking for your bullshit explanations. We're done asking questions. And I am so goddamn tired of them. If you just ask if how the program works, we know how it works. Or should I say how it doesn't work. We know how you people operate. We have all the materials that you've shoved down everybody's fucking gullet for more years than I care to fucking stand, okay? We know how you operate. We don't need you to answer any questions and feed us more bullshit word salad nonsense. We are there to see with our own eyeballs, because obviously what we are seeing, what you show on paper, does not match what's actually going on in your school. The abuse reports coming out your ass every fucking year. The student reports, the survivor reports, the fact that there's been the FDA looking into your ass, the UN, and you're wondering why there's unannounced visits and why we won't just let you explain it to us. No, we're done with your bullshit explanations. They don't make sense to anyone who has 2 brain cells to rub together. There are people who don't have to work in this field a single day who see the shit that you put out and are like as completely baffled as the rest of us. Okay? Jesus. Ugh. And this whole thing of, but they're only in there part of the day. School is an 8-hour ordeal. Or I called it the ordeal because I had to deal with people. If you are taking a student out and putting them in a secluded room, providing them with no teacher, no schoolwork, no nothing, you see where NSED's going with this, don't you? No? Do we need to say it in small letters and write it in crayons for you people to understand? Because I will buy crayons. I'll even make cue cards with little suns on them if that will make you fucking happy and make you the point get across. Jesus Christ. How the hell did you all graduate high school? The room is monitored by staff who are trained to respond to behaviors exhibited by the student in the room. Here we go with the fucking obsession with the behaviors. How in the name of a god do these kids get any schoolwork done when they are constantly being fucking targeted about goddamn behaviors? Including stimming. I stemmed in class all the goddamn time. Nobody said a damn word to me or my mom. You want to know what the result was? I did fantastic in school. I was one of the fucking top students in nearly every single goddamn class. The only one I did really horrifically was math because the teacher was out to get me because she hated my brother. You neurotypicals are fucking weird. I hold a grudge against your brother, so you, who has nothing to do with the entire situation, I'm gonna target you. Neurotypicals are freaking weird sometimes. We do not have computers in the one-on-one rooms, but do have them in the alternative classrooms. For students receiving individualized services, the instruction is given through worksheets and not computers. Again, you are not talking about what NSED's talking about. And that seems to be a common theme throughout this entire statement. We're talking about two different things here. They are not talking about the alternative classrooms. They are talking about when they are put into the conference rooms for hours on end, which has been corroborated by fucking witness and survivor testimony, by the way. And camera footage. Your own camera footage, I might add. We're not discussing your individualized programs in smaller classrooms and in smaller groups and one-on-one. We're talking specifically about this. Yet you're going to try to obscure. You're going to try to throw smoke and mirrors. Because that's what you always do, isn't it? We're talking two different things here. One has nothing to do with the other. They are talking literally when you target a specific student and put them in a small conference room with hours on end with no educational value in it whatsoever. That they saw with their own eyeballs. Okay? Nobody needs context for that. We all know what's going on there. And this is the nonsensical, moronic bullshit that the JRC are known for. They assume everybody but them is stupid. At least that's what it seems like to me. They're the only experts in all the world who knows exactly what needs to happen with these kids, and they're the only ones that can save them. Jesus Christ. Where are you people getting your degrees? The College of Joseph Mengele? Because, yeah, this is, again, you not actually responding to the challenge by NSED, but instead putting up some weird false dichotomy, which has nothing to fucking do with what New York is saying here. What they're saying is you are taking these kids out of the educational setting and having them monitored by people without degrees and barely a high school education, putting them in control of their torture devices. Yeah. That's what New York's talking about. If they were talking about your alternative learning settings, they would have said they were talking about your alternative learning settings. My God, can we get some logic back into this world for the sake of what's left of my sanity? And on that note, we're going to end, folks. Now, actually, I might do a non-related rant. What in the name of God has happened to critical thought and logical thinking, and why in the name of God has it become villainized? Can somebody explain that to me? Because people like JRC and AH, they weaponize your feelings. To get to the truth of the situation, one must put our own emotions aside. I know I'm a big talker, especially when it comes to the JRC, because I've got all kinds of feelings. But I never let it get in the way of my logical thought. If JRC could produce an actual logical argument, which can be backed up with receipts, I'd be willing to listen. I can put my own absolute disgust in them aside long enough in order to address a logical argument that has some documentation. No, JRC, not from your school, but actual documentation from an outside, non-biased source. I'd be willing to take a look. But they don't, folks. Like, some of the shit that they use from outside sources date back, we're talking from the 70s. The 70s. So, now we're going to go ahead and end. We don't get very many views on this channel, especially on this subject. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time. So please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time this evening. As always, I hope you have a good one. And cheers to my recovery drink. I really did kick my ass earlier. Please pray for my lower back. Bye-bye.